So what is meditation really? It's not what you think, for sure. Because meditation, from the point of view of cognitive science and cognitive neuroscience, meditation techniques are attentional retraining systems. Our normal attention is rather lame, rather poorly controlled, particularly in Western culture. Western culture attunes us and really trains attention to be very limited, to be highly distractible. In fact, our entire economy is built on a distractibility, on presenting people with new and novel things that are just new, different versions of the same old thing, because that activates the attentional system of the brain, and it excites the brain for a moment, gets you interested. And so the economy is constantly reissuing a new iPad, a new model car, a new this, a new that, taking advantage of a fundamental mechanism of the brain, which is attention, which is what we can focus on. And it turns out that there are many types of attention, and within meditation there are many types of attentional training. So for instance, mindfulness meditation, which has become very popular in medical circles because it helps people manage chronic symptoms. It's also being integrated with psychotherapy, particularly cognitive therapy. Mindfulness meditation helps develop a sustained awareness, which is sort of even hovering, where whatever comes into the mind you just note or be aware of and let go. And that turns out to have lots of powerful effects, but it takes practice to do that. There's concentrative meditations, for example, methods like TM or many Tibetan methods that use mantra or visualization are training concentration and the ability to focus. There's also a variation of that where you not only focus, but you generate a particular state of mind, and some of the visualization practices help people richly evoke and sustain the experience of a particular state that's associated with an image and with feelings and emotions and so on. So in other words, meditation, from the point of view of modern science, offers a range of training methods for fundamental functions of the mind that have been poorly understood in the West and that have been ignored in terms of cultivation. If you think about the epidemic of so-called ADHD among kids, hyperactivity and attentional deficit disorder, part of that certainly has to be due to the way in which this culture mismanages children's attention. We're constantly distracting our kids instead of encouraging them to stay with something, for example. And mindfulness and other meditation methods are being brought into schools to help kids learn to focus better and manage their attention, which also helps them manage their upsetting emotions, it turns out. So if you understand that meditation is a training system for fundamental facets of awareness and of consciousness, then it becomes very interesting for neuroscientists to study, because for the first time they have the opportunity to look at the brains of people who have spent tens of thousands of hours developing these mental functions. And 10,000 hours is a very important benchmark, because in cognitive science generally it's a rule of thumb that to be world class in any domain of skill, chess, diving, you name it, computer programming, you have to put in at least 10,000 hours of practice. Something happens to the brain. It's called neuroplasticity. The brain circuitry for that function becomes stronger and stronger and stronger the more you practice. So that's the next frontier, is seeing how far this kind of attentional training, this kind of fundamental exercise for the brain and for the mind can carry us. And I'm very interested to see what we'll know 10 years from now.